Okay, I'm back. While I was troubleshooting, there were a couple interesting things I came across, and I'm not quite sure the reason for each of them, but I'll tell you the problems I ran into. So, first of all, the one issue seemed to have to do with the Windows firewall on the server. So, and the reason I found that out is because I was having trouble. So from my local PC here, what I did is I opened up RTMC Pro inside the Azure VM, which you can do. It's just easier to use RTMC Pro from outside because it runs faster. But I created a little dashboard and uploaded it to CSI web server to see if I could access that web server, see if I could access the dashboard locally from within the browser on the VM. And I could, so that suggested that there might be a problem with Firewall somewhere. So the issue was there was nothing wrong with the configuration in the Azure network settings, which we've seen. Let's see. So under networking, so it turns out this is doing its job where it's opening port 80 for HTTP traffic. But the way I discovered that the problem had to do with the Windows firewall is that I disabled Windows firewall, which obviously is not a good idea to do for a long period of time. Let me see how I did that. So I went firewall, this view here, and I turned the Windows firewall off right here, actually public network settings. So I turned it off, and then I was able to access the dashboard from my local PC. So at that point, I was wondering if maybe I configured the firewall rule incorrectly, but I couldn't really see where I did that wrong. That was that inbound rule we set up for CSI web server, and everything here looked good. I double checked all these settings against the settings on my own Azure VM, and they all matched. And then I just tried it again, and it worked. So I'm not exactly sure what was going on. It was something related to Windows Firewall, but so if you are having a problem and you're wondering if Windows Firewall is the problem, the best thing to do is just briefly disable the firewall and see if that fixes it. So anyhow, something mysterious related to Windows Firewall was causing one problem. And then another issue I was seeing is that when we go to the URL, so even if I put so again, the HTML root directory is here. So if I go there and so in the root here, if I put an index.html file, which I assumed CSI web server is configured to look for automatically, if I just put one in here by itself, I get this, I can do it again right here just to show you. All right, so I've got that file there, and the web server is running. So if we just go to the root, we're going to get this 404 not found. There is no server that can process it. And also if we just go directly to /HTML. That doesn't work either. So it turns out the way I resolved that was to actually upload a dashboard to the root here. And then once the dashboard was uploaded, then it did work. So for some reason, it probably has something to do with the configuration of CSI web server internally. You can't just put a HTML file in there and expect it to work. You actually have to upload a dashboard from RTMC Pro into CSI web server, and then you're able to access it. All right, so I had one problem related to Windows Firewall and another related to just putting an HTML file in the root directory and not being able to access it because you have to upload a dashboard from RTMC Pro.